I think it should almost be more interactive, kind of how like the Great Movie Ride was. I think that they should find a new way to the point where the poachers kind of come up. Like there's like a fork in the river, and the poachers kind of come up, and there's like an interaction. I'm trying to get it to the point where everybody can see.
Okay.
There's like an interaction here, and then they go their separate ways. But during that time of interaction, there could be like a small little show instead of like that one
Okay.
scene.
So live actors.
Yes, live actors. Yes.
For all who comes to this goofy place, welcome.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode here on the Goofy Scoop podcast. Gray, of course, with me, and we are going to, what to do? We're going to talk about, basically, it's going to be kind of what we did a little bit last episode, but we're going to go more in depth in one area of what we talked about. We're going to talk about rides that we want to change or rides that we like for the most part, but we just want to add a little bit more sparkle to that attraction. So how does that sound to you, Gray?
Sounds good. And this may not be a fully comprehensive list. This is just the beginning. So if we don't hit your favorite ride or your least favorite ride because you think it needs to be changed, then pay attention to it later because we might cover it in another episode.
Oh, yeah. What attraction do you want to get started, Gray? Is there any attraction on your mind?
You know, one attraction that always comes to mind because I think it's awful is Tomorrowland Speedway.
Yes.
And I don't really know if theming would help much, but I personally believe that Tomorrowland needs a little bit more of like just Disney feel in general. Like you have Buzz Lightyear. Yeah, well, it needs an update, even though it's because it's the future of the 80s, but you know, whatever. But like you have Buzz Lightyear, you have the Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, and you kind of have Stitch, but like that's it. And
Yeah.
Tron is coming. Tron is new, but Tron also fits that like 80s theme, which I'm not super happy about, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, because the original
and I know
came out in the 80s, right?
Right. Okay. And I know they have the Radiator Springs Racers in California Adventure, but why can't you put something Cars there? Like in the future, Cars Can Talk, maybe. I don't know, Tomorrowland. So why can't we just why can't we re-theme Tomorrowland Speedway to something Cars?
So you would want to change it ultimately to something Cars related.
I think it would be a good idea because right now it's like you can go to Adventure Landing and ride around on the go-karts. Like that's all it is. So
true.
I don't know. I just feel like there's got to be something more to it.
I think even if they did want to keep it the same attraction, like if they did want to keep it go-karts, they could at least go electric at this point. Because by like driving, yeah, you got those people driving around, and it's just like Speedway is right on that line where it goes from Tomorrowland to Fantasyland. And like that's the last thing that you need to hear. Like if they would have put Tomorrowland Speedway back where Space Mountain was, it would make more sense just because the motors are so loud. But I don't I think Disney does a very good job with like transitions and everything into different lands or into different like themed atmospheres. That one is very lacking to me just because those engines are so loud. And if they went electric, it would make more sense.
That's true. But keep everything else is what you're saying? Just like go electric, but keep everything else the same?
If they wanted to stay the same. Now, God, I don't know what I would want to make it. I think Cars would be the only way to go because it just makes sense because you have that track there.
Right. And I'm not trying to like turn it into Radiator Springs Racers from California Adventure. Like I'm not trying to change completely, but like literally just retheming and like repainting the cars, I think would make it more exciting. And like you get in the car and it goes, let's go racing. And it's like Lightning McQueen or something. I don't know.
Yep. Well, my sister, she works at Speedway and at Space Mountain. I forgot to mention that last episode, but she always says that she has to deal with those parents that say, I want a red car. My son wants the red car.
Right.
And it doesn't matter if it's number 95. They just want a red car, or they want a blue car. They want a yellow car for like Dynaco or, other characters. My sister's always like, I will try my best, but I can't. So I think if they were to change it to a Cars theme, I think it would be successful. I think it would definitely
like every car is like
higher than yeah. I think it would get higher than a 15-minute wait, because that's usually the highest that I've ever seen it.
I mean, literally, if it's the exact same ride, just repaint the cars. It would make it 10 times better.
And change the name.
Change the name and put like a couple signs like around that like say something cars. But like that's a cheap and easy fix.
Yeah, like if they named it like what? Like Radiator Springs, something with Radiator Springs, or like maybe like Dynaco
or not
Circuit
even Radiator
or
Springs. Yeah, what if they did Dynaco Circuit or like the training facility from the third Cars movie, I think it is.
Yeah,
like whatever the training facility is, just call it that.
Which I don't even remember what the training facility is called, but I know exactly what you're talking about, because it was like they were almost like sim racing. Like they would go up to this thing and then act like they'd be in front of a screen, and it's pretty cool.
Exactly.
I mean, I think it definitely needs changing. I just don't know how they would do it.
Easy theme, easy like fix, I think. And you're not copying something else, and you're adding another movie. You're adding something else to Disney that's not like, oh, cool, you have a go-kart track. Why?
Yeah.
Like, hello.
You might be against me on this one. I'm going to go ahead and talk about a different attraction.
Go for it.
The Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger School or whatever, but what's it called?
Space Ranger Spin. Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, I don't think they need it anymore. It's a outdated Toy Story Mania.
It is outdated. I mean, it is like Toy Story Mania. Toy Story Mania is definitely better. The wait time for that ride is always ridiculous.
It's ridiculous when you don't have a fast pass for it, because for whatever reason, that is the number one ride that is terrible. I don't know why. I don't know. It has to be because they tell the cast members to do this, but it seems like they pull a group of 5 from the regular line and then they let 50 go in the fast pass line. So it's like if you're in the regular line, oh my God, it just takes forever.
So I have a story about this. So while we were on our program, the first time I wrote it, I was like, this is crazy. Told me this. Why are they allowing so many people to go through the fast pass line and not letting anyone out of this regular line? Like this line would be 5 minutes long if they would just like let 5 people from here, 10 people from there, or like whatever.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
But so I was there and I counted every single person that went through the fast pass line before anyone from our line went. When I got up towards the front, it was 50. It was 50 people from the fast pass line to every one person from the regular standby line. And I was like, this is ridiculous. That's 2 weeks later, ratio. I didn't all of a ratio. I didn't tell anyone about this. I didn't like go to a cast member and say, this is dumb, you need to fix it. This just happened. They put walls up in between the standby line and the fast pass line, so you couldn't see how many people were coming through the other line.
That's weird. So there's no way that you're the only one.
I mean, no, there's no way that I'm the only one but like, I'm sure they overheard me complaining and they were like, oh, we need to fix this so that people can't complain about it. So we're still going to do the same thing, but we're just going to put walls up so you don't know that we're doing it.
Oh, yeah. And the whole time I was on my program, I never went on it.
Not once?
The last 2 trips I went to Disney, I didn't go on it because I just rode it so much as a kid. And then I also just, figured out while working there, I was like, it's just not worth it. I've never, unless I went to the park with my sister, never signed up for a fast pass or anything like that. I always just stood in the regular standby line Because I was like, yeah, I could get a fast pass, but the way that I looked at it, I was like, I live here. I'm not going to sit there, and granted, I'm only taking up to like what? The biggest group I went with was with you guys. So like the biggest group, that I would take up would be, 6 slots for a fast pass line. But the way that I look at it is just like, I live here. Like, why can't I just give those 5 or 6 other slots? Even the 1 slot when I was at the park by myself, I was like, I'll just give that to somebody else. Like,
wow, you're such a good person.
But well, it's just like, if, for instance, I remember one day, and then we'll get back on track. But I remember one day, I got off of work. It was like 3 or 4 o'clock, and I was like, ooh, I have extra clothes in my car from the other day that I didn't end up going to the park. And they were just in my back seat. And I was like, ooh, I could swing back over to Magic Kingdom. I'll go ride Haunted Mansion, and I'll go home. So I mean, I literally did that. And like, not a whole lot of people at all can do that, so.
Well, not anymore because COVID, but
yeah,
I mean, whatever. Okay, so if you took away Space Ranger Spin, what would you put there? Would you add something else?
See, that's what's kind of hard, is because like what we said at the beginning is Tomorrowland just needs a full update. Like, I think they should almost, except for Space Mountain and for Tron and for the People Mover, don't touch my People Mover.
Yeah, don't touch the People Mover. Yeah,
don't touch it. I think other than those 3, I think they should just wipe everything away, or everything that other than those 3, wipe all of those away and restart fresh. Start with new ideas.
I do disagree about the laugh floor, because I love the laugh floor. I think it's great. I think it's great.
It's fun, but I feel like it's just, they need to do something. They need to add to something. It's been around too long, and it's been like the same thing. But granted,
but I think it's fun because it's interactive. Every time you go is different, because the guests are different and the way people react is different. And that's what makes that show.
True.
Is the people that are in the audience. Like, there was one time I went in, and because they have microphones everywhere, so they're able to like hear the conversations, whatever. I went in and I was talking to somebody, and I was like, man, I really hope I get to be that guy. And I like said it a couple times, and then they put me on the screen, and it said the guy that wants all the attention, which, like, true. But it's just funny, because like, obviously they're not going to pick someone that knows what that guy is. But I don't know, to me it was always funny. I like dad jokes though. I like funny
dad jokes are the best
things. So yeah, so like, I think that's part of it too.
Okay. See, I would just have to get rid of Laugh 4.
But you got Stitch's Great Escape, you got to do something with. You got Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin, you got to do something with. I love the Carousel Progress. That's a classic. You can't get rid of that. I forgot about Carousel Progress. I really did. It needs an update. But you can't get rid of it.
I think what they should do, I think they should move it over to Epcot. Get it out of Tomorrowland. Just take it over to Epcot.
Where in Epcot?
Somewhere over by Spaceship Earth or something. Just kind of in that area of Future World. They got so much construction going on right now that I don't think anybody would care. And that's such a select few that actually like are obsessed with the Carousel Progress. So I think if they were to move it,
I do like it, but I'm not obsessed with it. Yeah.
But there are some people that will buy merch drops and everything for Carousel Progress. I was like, that's been around.
That's true.
Like, I don't even remember the year of that World's Fair, but it's been around for a long time.
1969, I think. But
it was a long time ago. But yeah, I think
it was either 60 or 69.
Yeah, but don't get rid of Carousel Progress. I think they should just move it over to Epcot.
Yeah, just move it out of the way and put something else there. I'm trying to think of some other things that are like futuristic that you could do, but I don't know what they would be. Honestly, like bring back Stitch, but just like make it a ride. We talked about this in the last episode, but like just make it something that's like real and not like, oh, we squirt chili dog in your face. Ha ha ha. It's dumb.
Super dumb. I think that's enough of Tomorrowland. I'm like trying to think. I want to jump over to Adventureland, I think, and talk about the Jungle Cruise. I know the Jungle Cruise is one of those rides that you really like. And I know you
Jeff,
want to be a skipper.
I love the Jungle Cruise. I want to be a skipper. So do not ruin it for me. And they've done a bunch of updates recently.
Yeah, but I don't remember the list, to be honest. I know that they took away Trader Sam or whatever his name was.
Yeah, they got rid of Trader Sam.
I don't know why, but I do know why. I just think it's dumb. But it's just like there was so much backlash on it, or at least I remember seeing a bunch of backlash on it. Like I'm not the only one.
Oh no, you're definitely not the only one. Definitely not. But I want to know what you would change to it. What do you want to do with it?
I think instead of floating by, I guess we could say, the poachers, with like the rhinos and with them up on top of the
on the pole,
totem pole,
climbing a tree. Yeah.
I think it should almost be more interactive, kind of how like the Great Movie Ride was. I think that they should find a new way to the point where the poachers kind of come up, like there's like a fork in the river and the poachers kind of come up and they, there's like an interaction. I'm trying to get it to the point where everybody can see. Okay. There's like an interaction here and then they go their separate ways. But during that time of interaction, there could be like a small little show instead of like that one scene.
So live actors?
Yes, live actors. Yes.
Live actors would change it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Still keep the
have
animatronic
that great movie
animals.
Ride feel. Yes, of course.
The only problem with that is Jungle Cruise is old. The technology is old. And so more than likely underwater, it's just like lots of stuff. And so if you had people, like if you had actors, their safety would be a concern. Unless they were just like on the shore doing stuff.
Well, I was talking about them like being in a boat, like another boat. Like they would have to add on to the attraction to the point where,
have to build a lot.
Yeah, like as they go through, they would basically just like loop around and there'd be like two boats. So by the time like one boat is here, the other boat is exactly on the opposite side. So it's basically taking care of each boat.
I like that idea. I really like that idea. The only other unfortunate piece to that is there is no room to build on that ride.
True.
Like it's so confined. Like right on the other side of the trees of Jungle Cruise is Main Street. And like the other way, like is the parking lot or is, I guess, like the, oh my gosh, what is it called? The train station. Like it's right there.
I wonder if they could take like a section of that ride out and change it.
Take out though.
I don't know.
Maybe the cave. I think the cave is dumb.
I was about to say, what about like that tomb/cave area? Because all it is just kind of dark and muggy anyway.
There's nothing in there except like a tiger, and they're like, "Oh, look at the tiger's eyes; they're glowing." It's kind of dumb.
And they stopped the fog because it started ruining the tiger's fur or something like that too. So, like even the fog that was there that made it look really cool as you're going in. They don't even do that anymore.
Yeah, well. It's kind of like the Yeti.
That would be like the number one thing that I would change with the Jungle Cruise. I love the Jungle Cruise. I love the corny jokes. But I think that's what I would do. I would add live actors. And it wouldn't even take that long either because, for instance, you have the live actors do that for 2 hours at a time. They can either be done for the day or they can go take an hour to 2 hour break and then they'll come back. Like they'll work a total of 4 hours a day, but they'll have a 2 hour break in between. And all you have to do is just load the boats
4 hours a day. That's not long enough to do anything.
Yeah, but I'm sure live actors get paid much more though. Yeah, but think about that. Like think about constantly going. You're doing every other boat for like 2 hours or every third boat for for 2 hours.
Yeah, I was gonna say you'd have to have at least a third boat for loading and unloading live actors, at least.
Yeah.
But you could do it. It's totally possible.
Yeah.
It's an interesting take. Very interesting take.
Because you'd have to just think of the mechanism behind it. You'd have to think of the flow and how it would work. But I think that'd be a very interesting thing.
you would have to get the timing right. I think timing would be the biggest thing.
Yeah. And I think a big thing too is just communication between other skippers as well. All you have to do is just add another line of communication and basically say, hey, somebody that port A or whatever the ports are called. I didn't work there, but hey, give us 30 seconds. We're going to switch out the live actors. They're going on break. We got new ones coming in, give us 30 seconds. Just say some
tell
corny
the people,
jokes.
Wave to the fans a little bit longer.
And it wouldn't even be that hard either, too. Like if you don't even want to tell corny jokes, or you can tell corny jokes for those 30 seconds, but you can say, oh, apparently there's, some sort of animal up ahead that one of the other skippers just told us about. We're going to go ahead and let them cross or like get out of the way. That way we can have a safe voyage. So,
well, because also the skippers control the speed of the boat. They're not driving the thing, but they do control the speed of the boat. So it'd be very easy for them to be like, okay, everyone go down a knot or whatever it is. I don't know how boats work. But yeah, if everybody like did that. If AJ were here, he could tell us, but he's not. So
it always cracks me up on that ride because they'll turn just a little bit. But if you get that right skipper, they know how to turn just a little bit by yanking that steering wheel.
And they know it. They know I mean, obviously you would learn it inside and out, but like, it's great. It's the best. That ride is the best. So good.
Is there anything that you would change on it other than just like what I would like to see different? No.
Keep Jungle Cruise the same forever and always. I love it.
How do you feel about the Jingle Cruise? Whatever.
I never rode the Jingle Cruise.
Like ever. Not just like never on your program, but like ever.
No, I've never done it. I've only been at Disney during the holidays during our program. That was the only time I was there during the holidays. But the line was always so long, and I was like, it can't be that different. Like, and a rhino might have a Santa hat on. Like, oh, I mean, I was like, it can't be that different. So I just never did it because the line was so long. But
yeah, which I mean, you're right. It's not a drastic change. It's basically just the jokes are Christmas related.
I love that.
That's all it is.
Gone. I regret that. I love Christmas.
Yeah.
Should have gone.
The sign changes and the jokes change. That's all it is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is what it is. Sticking in Adventureland. I like it. I think it's a cool place to go and look at. But I think the Swiss Family Robinson Treehouse needs to be done something with.
It needs to go.
Go completely?
I think so.
I mean, I don't know if you go completely. Like, it's kind of cool to like go up there. There's a great view of the castle from the top.
Oh, absolutely. Like if they had that open during the fireworks show, I'd be going up there.
Oh, that would be lit.
That's why it's closed, though. I'm pretty sure.
Probably, yeah, because so many people try to get up there. Yeah, I don't know. I need something done to it. It needs. Oops, didn't mean to hit my microphone. Sorry, friends. It needs lights, sounds, conversations going, something. That would be kind of cool. Or like a tour guide. Someone who tells the story of the family, I think would be really cool. Because walking through there, I mean, it's kind of like a self-led thing, but walking through there, I'm always like, I wonder how they did this. Like someone who is a storyteller who could make up whatever they did, or like a member of the Robinson family, a descendant, a cousin, whatever. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, dude. In all honesty, I forget about that tree because I just think it's decoration. Like I only went up there like two or three times. Swiss family tree.
Yeah, the treehouse in general. Yeah.
I was about to say, I do like your twist on like the tour guide thing. I think what would be cool is if like certain time of day, like certain times of the day, you could sign up and you could have, I'm really big on live actors, but you can go through the tree and you'll have the different family members and they'll each kind of talk to you and interact and kind of tell their story as you go through the tree and like through the different rooms and areas and stuff like that.
That would be
I think
cool.
that would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Also, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the problem with that is, and really this is a problem with my like tour guide thought as well. The treehouse is so small, and you can't like pass people. Like the stairs are too narrow to pass people. And so you'd really have to like push people along in some way.
Oh yeah.
Like you'd have to time all the conversations, which could possibly be done, and be like, here's your script, and when you're done, you're done. But like then instead of people like asking you questions or trying to take pictures, like you got to be like, okay, move, so the next people can come in. Because if once you add live actors, it's gonna be a lot more popular.
True. They also at Disneyland, they do have it as Tarzan themed. I wish that they were flipped. I wish the Tarzan one was at Disney World.
I do like Tarzan.
Because you could put a live action. You could put a live actor of
even
Tarzan
if you just made it, even if you just made it a meet and greet. Like if you made the treehouse the meet and greet for Tarzan. Or let's do a meet and greet for the Swiss Family Robinson, like the Swiss Family people. Like let's do that.
But in all honesty, would you go get pictures with them? I wouldn't.
I would, just because I think it'd be like, oh, look at these people I got pictures with. And I've seen the movie. So like I know what it is. Terrible movie, by the way. Don't watch it.
Yeah, it's very outdated.
Like I would go just to be like, hey, look, I got a picture. But I would go once.
Yeah.
I would go once and never again. Because like, what's exciting about meeting them multiple times? Meeting like fun characters like Tarzan or Mickey Mouse or whatever, I'll meet them 100 times. But
100%.
Swiss Family, no. One time. One and done.
It'd be normal people just in tattered clothes, I feel like.
Also, I feel like a lot of people don't know that movie or like don't know the story. Like they have no idea who it is. And so a lot of people would just skip over it because they're like, who are these?
Yeah, it's like,
people?
It's
like,
just
no
a
one
tree.
knows what that is. Yeah, it's and it like even like, oh, meet the family. We're meeting 4 strangers that lived in the woods.
Yeah,
like it's kind of lame, but
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Ultimately, if it was up to me, I would just get rid of it. But those would be my changes if I had to make a change.
That's true. Yeah. Sticking in Magic Kingdom, I have another one, unless you would like to go.
I wanted to talk about pirates, just to stick in Adventureland real quick.
Go for it. I was going to change lands, so that's good.
I think that pirates need some changing as well, because when they added Captain Barbossa and Captain Jack Sparrow in there, it was just like, I remember my family and I, we were all just, we have to go. We have to see this.
Yeah.
Because it was like brand new animatronic equipment and, technology. And I remember seeing that for the first time and I was like, whoa. I was like, that's Johnny Depp. Like, that's not an animatronic, Nowadays, you can kind of tell because now you have animatronics like the Avatar in the River Journey, where she looks
singing time.
I think that might be like the NSYNC version of Avatar, but yeah.
I don't know. Okay, I'll take it.
Avatar's back. All right. Well, that's Backstreet Boys.
Right. That is Backstreet.
I messed up.
Whatever.
But no, like you have that new technology with the Avatar animatronic, and it's incredible. But it's like now you look at Captain Jack Sparrow and Barbossa, and you can just tell like it's becoming outdated, like those original animatronics in there. I think what they honestly need to do, and I touched up on this a little bit last episode, I think as well, but let's go more in depth. They need to add Davy Jones. They need to add that new guy from the very latest movie. I can't remember his name. He's the Spanish captain.
I have no idea.
From Dead Men Tell No Tales. But they need to add more characters and kind of change the rooms a little bit instead of just having that, okay, the pirates have came and bombarded the town, tore everything up, and they're just going to go drink rum after they're done kind of thing. I feel like they really need to implement all of the movies instead of one of the first scenes from the first movie.
Okay, but the best part of that entire ride is the room where the buildings are on fire, and the lady is chasing the people with the broom.
Yeah,
that's the
funny.
best part. Because every time I go on that ride, I look at that and I'm like, that's not an animatronic. That's 2 dolls on a turntable just going, wee. That's all it is. But like, even the first time I went on that ride, I was like, I get what the story is trying to tell with this, but it's literally some stuffed dolls on a lazy Susan in the middle of the table, and somebody's just sitting there spinning it.
Well, yeah, it does just go in circles. So it's like after a while, you're just kind of like, okay, that's funny.
But
that's
it's so technology. Fast. Like it's like, I mean, I guess they're running, but like it's so fast that your brain like very quickly goes to like, oh yeah, that's fake.
They do need to slow it down.
But if you slow it down, but like then if you slow it down, do you look at it and you're like, oh, they don't look like they're running?
I think if you slowed it down just enough to the point where it'd be like a heavy jog, because there's no way that you're able to make corners like that going that fast. Your ankles are going to just snap.
Well, when you're in that room, even like as the boat goes by, I bet they spin around the circle 10 to 12 times.
Yeah, it's too many times. 10 to 12 times minimum.
Yeah.
I bet it's close to 20.
From the first time your eye sees it to the last time your eye sees it, I bet it's a lot. Next time we go, we're going to count.
My favorite section in that attraction is where that guy's over there just drunk. And he's like, here, kitty, kitty, kitty.
Yeah.
I've always laughed at that character. Yeah. And then you have Johnny Depp at the very end as well. You have Captain Jack Sparrow at the very end. Where he's like,
how a pirate's life for me.
Yeah, he's got the bottle of rum or whatever, and he's in that room of treasure. I'm trying to think of anything else that I would want to change other than just adding characters and adding more of the movie aspect to it instead of just basically one scene from the movie, from the very first movie.
I'm going to tell you what I would change in that ride. And I'm going to get some flack for this. I think the entire ride smells disgusting.
Really?
I think it's gross. Like, especially the room where everything's on fire. Because every time I go in that room, I like with the spot where I'm going, I always get like blasted in the face with the smell box.
Yeah, with the smell or whatever.
I think the whole ride smells awful. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, that's just the smell of pirates. Like, no, I think it's disgusting.
I mean, it's definitely not the worst smell ever at Disney World, but
it's not as bad as Stitch's Great Escape, but like what is,
I think what makes it gross though is because like, the burning smell. I think the burning smell should definitely be overstimulating almost too overbearing, because when you smell anything burning, it's kind of like, ooh,
That's true. That's true.
However, I think with the only thing I can relate it to is like almost like a market smell, like a fruit market smell, because it has like a sweet smell to it. It's just like a really thick, sweet smell.
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
I think that's too overbearing. I think that needs to be kind of knocked down a little bit.
I don't know. I just think it needs to be changed because I think it's gross. That's my personal opinion.
You're going to hate me for this, but I actually have a pirate's candle.
Oh, I know a lot of people that have pirate's candles.
Yeah.
It's like the same people who have the candles of Rome burning from Spaceship Earth. But like,
yeah, my dad wants that candle.
Why? It smells bad.
I think it smells good. It has to be very faint.
The smell of an entire city burning. Like, that's awful.
Well, okay, so what do you think is the best smell at Disney World?
Oh. Okay, this one doesn't exist anymore. But the Orange Grove in Soarin' Over California, I thought that was amazing.
I'm trying to remember.
All right, it's the same smell, but in Soarin' Around the World, the one that's still there, the part where they fly over the kayakers.
Yeah. That's like Flight of Passage.
And that, it's the same smell as Flight of Passage. I was just about to say that. It's the exact same smell, but I think Love it. The tropical, like, I love it.
Best smell, Disney World. That's your answer.
I think so. I don't know what other smells there are. I think that I still think Flight of Passage and Soarin' is better, but Splash Mountain is a good one. The water.
See, a lot of people don't like how that water smells. You don't like Pirates, but you like Splash. It's crazy.
I like Splash. Yeah. I think that's it. I think those are the best smells.
I was about to say we should definitely go to Splash Mountain and see what we need to change there. What would you change, Greg?
Well, they're redoing the whole thing anyway.
I was going to say, like it matters.
They're redoing the whole thing anyway. But
let me rephrase this question. If we weren't changing it, or if Disney wasn't changing it to Princess Tiana's, what would you do?
It's still Brer Rabbit in the Briar Patch. I would only I would only change one part because this is the only part I don't understand about the ride. As you're going up the mountain, what is the point of those vultures in tuxedos?
So you would just basically take them out of tuxedos?
Just take them out. What's the point of vultures?
They're basically just saying, I mean, they're
like, you're about to die going down the Briar Patch, so they're going to come eat you. Is that the point of it?
Basically, yeah. Because vultures are around death. So they're basically waiting for you to die. And I think they're dressed up like that too, because it's like a funeral setting.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I never really got that.
Interpreted it.
I just think they're kind of out of place. But everything else I love.
I love going down into the Laughing Place. It's nice and cool.
Yes. The Laughing Place song was just going through my head, so I'm really glad you said that.
That is one of the this might be weird. That is one of the places in Disney World that I would like to spend the night.
You would get soaked.
I mean, I'd have waterproof stuff with me, but I think if I was down there with like a couple of friends or whatever, I think it'd be fun.
I think it's just humid down there. Like, I feel like it would get so hot.
You get acclimated fast when you live there. You know this.
Okay, that's true.
We probably would have shivered like 20 minutes in.
You're right. The first time I went down there, I was like, dang, it's hot. And then after that, I was like, love this. But also, like, I went on Splash Mountain 8 million times.
Oh, I believe
it. If the line was short, I would ride it over and over and over again. I love that ride.
See, I love that ride. I just hate the chance of getting wet underwear and wet socks. Because
I never had that issue in the front seat, in the back seat, in the middle seat. I never got so wet that my socks and underwear were wet. My shirt was soaked a few times, but it would dry quickly.
I was about to say, like, before I moved to Florida, I could not stand when my socks and shoes were wet. After living in Florida and working at Disney and having to go through the rain almost every freaking day of your life, you get very used to wet socks and wet shoes. So then it basically just became like an issue of like, okay, if I get wet underwear, I'm not going to be in the best of moods. I'll stick around, but I'll be pissy for a little bit.
I never had that issue. And like, I would choose to sit in the front. I'd be like, can I get in the front row? Like, and I never had the issue. I don't know. I just didn't. It was never a problem for me.
Well, I should have rode with you more often. But the one time I did ride with you, though, you almost lost my hat.
But I didn't lose your hat. I was simply giving it to the girls behind us so that we had something to talk to them about at the end of the ride.
Oh, okay.
I did it on purpose. You're welcome.
Yeah, like it went anywhere. I basically was just like, hey,
oh, my hat back? I lost my hat.
Because you basically almost knocked me out with your forearm, hit me in the forehead.
No, you're right. That was a great time though. That entire ride, I acted like I was a child, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, am I gonna die on this ride?" It was great. I loved it.
Yeah,
one of the best.
I remember getting that Snapchat. I remember getting that Snapchat for our friend group.
Mm-hmm. Let's do it again.
I wish. I
Okay,
hope I move back one of these days.
Oh well, we'll see. Kylie said she's gonna be moving back, so we'll just steal her tickets. Thanks, Kylie.
if you're listening, thanks.
Thanks, girl. Anyway, so since you went to Splash Mountain, let's stay in Frontierland.
Big Thunder.
I was gonna go less popular than Big Thunder, but if you have something for Big Thunder, I'd love to hear it.
I mean, I thought that's where you're going. I was trying to read your
No,
mind.
that was not where I was going. I was simply going to the Frontierland shooting arcade.
Yeah, get it out.
What is the point? I don't get it.
The only thing I like about that is how it aesthetically looks. Like I'll just like look for a quick second and I'm just like, yeah, still looks good. Cool.
Okay, it looks good. It's like a cool area. But like, stop.
But what would they make it? Should they make it like I have an idea.
A meet and greet with the country bears.
True, but they're already like outside.
Not always.
I guess you could make it like an actual like inside, indoors, like under shade area for them. If not, I think it'd be kind of cool to do like a saloon.
Saloon would be cool. You kind of have that
a
at Pecos
family
Bills.
Friendly saloon, obviously.
You kind of have that at Pecos Bills, though.
True.
And there's no alcohol in Magic Kingdom.
Yeah, it would make sense for a saloon then anymore. I always forget about that rule.
Yeah. Next time you go to Magic Kingdom, you won't forget about it. You'll be like, dang, I really want to drink.
I really only drink at Epcot. That's the like, and even when I drink at Epcot, it's made like max 4 the whole day. No. I'm just not a drinker, really.
Heard that.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah, 4 drinks is like $50.
Yeah. 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 It probably wouldn't even like. Well, I don't know if it's the only place in Magic Kingdom that you could get alcohol. Might be worth it.
Yeah, it might be
Disney.
booming.
Yeah, I don't know. Disney, if you're listening and you want to take that idea, you got to give us the credit for it. Just saying.
Yeah, it's the Goofy Scoop Saloon.
Yeah, got a name.
Darn tootin'. That darn tootin', Gray.
Darn tootin'. You better put our names on it. That's right.
Darn tootin'. You better have a picture of us behind the bar.
That's right.
Would you change the Country Bear Jamboree?
No.
I think that's one of those that it is such crap that you just can't touch it because it's gold.
You have to keep it. It's so bad that it's good. Like
it's
Trixie
so bad
coming down
genius.
from the ceiling. Blood on the saddle. You got it.
That's that big guy that sings that.
No, that is the big guy. I just like that's the immediate song that I think about when I go to Country Bear Jamboree. But Trixie, my girl.
Yeah, Trixie gets sexual in front of that audience.
She does.
Yeah, like the first time I ever rode that to the age where I could remember what actually happened was like one of the first days on my program. And I was like sitting there and I was just like, Trixie, you wildin'. I was like, what is going on?
I have not watched that movie in a while and I should. We're getting the band back together. I need to watch that.
I liked that movie as a kid.
Right?
But I probably would hate it now.
No, I would love it. Specifically for the nostalgia of the show at Disney. That's the only reason. Yeah.
I'm trying to think now.
Don't touch Country Bear. Just don't touch it.
Yeah. No, we shouldn't. Yeah, it's such crap that it's gold. That's the easiest way to put it.
Yep.
And if you are planning on going to Disney for like your first time or anything, if you're listening, you have to go on it. Even if we just said it's crap, you have to.
You have to go to the Country Bear Jamboree. And the reason that you have to go to the Country Bear Jamboree is it will be I'm not going to say your favorite part. It will be one of the best memories because you'll be making fun of it the whole time.
Oh yeah. It's basically just it creates giggles the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you're in a bad mood with your family, Take them inside, sit in the air conditioning, and watch the Country Bear Jamboree.
Oh yeah. Sometimes
You're gonna be
just
like,
have to
I paid
embrace the
thousands of
suck.
dollars for this, and you're gonna be like, yeah, you did, and it was gold.
Yeah.
Comedy gold.
Yeah, and there's blood on the ground.
Blood on the saddle.
Now I'm trying to think if I did want to change any, or if I do want to change anything on Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. I don't think
nothing.
I don't think I'd want to change any. No. Well, there's one thing that I would want to change, but I don't know exactly if I'd want to. It's when you go into that stupid bat cave and it's
at the very beginning
screaming at you the whole time.
It's so loud.
Yeah, and it's just loud. Like, I know that's part of the ride, but another part of me is just like, it's so loud.
You're only in it for like 10 seconds.
I was gonna say, I think that's the only thing I would change.
It's just the climb hill. But yeah, if I had to change something, that's what I would change.
Yeah. In that intro's great.
Yep. The wildest ride in the wilderness.
Hold on to your hatching lashes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Just so you know, I say that in my regular life all the time.
Oh, I do too. That and soaring. I say those a lot.
Yeah.
But
okay. Let's try to close out Magic Kingdom here. Liberty Square.
I wouldn't touch anything with Liberty Square. Haunted Mansion is attached to Liberty Square, but I wouldn't change anything in the Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion's gold. Can't touch it.
Yeah, I'd probably leave it.
Fantasyland, I don't think I would change anything either.
I would.
What would you change?
Small World.
Like, just get rid of it?
No, gosh, no. It's a classic. I would never. But do what they did at Disneyland and put some Disney characters in it. Other than Small World being at the World's Fair and it being like one of Walt Disney's, like, I want to make this a ride or whatever, it has nothing to do with Disney. Put the characters in the ride. You did it at Disneyland. Do it everywhere else.
I prefer It's a Small World at Disneyland as well.
Yeah.
It's like outside in its own thing.
Also, this is something that you should not change at It's a Small World. The hippo that like has the creepy eye is like, don't change it. Keep it there forever. Also, the hula girl that's messed up where like all the hula girls are like swinging their hips back and forth, and then the one girl that's going really, really fast, don't change that either. Dude, keep that the same. Yeah, the hippo with the creepy eye. Everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say that on Small World. Everyone knows.
I just remember like going on there for the first time with some of my friends from the program, and they're from the ICP and they're from Honduras. And I remember looking over at my roommate, Marco, and he just looking at it. He's just like, what?
It's creepy, but it's so funny.
I'll never forget that mental image of him just like, making that face of like, really? I traveled this far and this is the quality of rides that I'm getting today?
Yeah. Yeah. And if Small World ever shuts down.
I wonder if that hippo has a name. That hippo has to have a name.
I'm sure it has a name. 100% sure it has a name. But like, it's not well known. But put some Disney characters in it and I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I think that would be a good change.
And then we're talking Disney World. Disneyland already has the characters in it. Because then you write it one time and you're like, oh, that song was awful. Then you find out that there's Disney characters and you're like, oh, shoot, I got to write it again to find all the characters.
Yeah. That would be a good touch. And then even if they did it correctly too, like how they have that treasure hunt in Adventureland, I think that they could do something like that with the kids too.
Yeah.
Like, granted, you'll have those people that circle everything. It's like, ooh, what did I win? You'd have to like proof that out.
Yeah.
There has to be a way to like know.
Or if they you wouldn't even have to do that. So in the rooms that the characters belong, you go into like the Hawaii room or whatever, and Lilo and Stitch are there, or Moana or whoever's in there. If you put speakers on the boats and like specifically those characters' voices come out louder singing It's a Small World.
That'd be a good idea.
Like you got Elsa in there and Idina Menzel just belting out. It's a small world after all.
But isn't it in Norwegian?
Yeah. There's Elsa is in one of the rooms in Disneyland.
Okay.
I've seen pictures of it.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think that would be cool. You like, and then the scavenger hunt is like, oh, I know this voice. I know this is Moana. Where is she in this room?
Yeah, I do like that. I'm trying to think.
Make
of
me an
anything else that I
Imagineer,
would-
people. Just put me on there.
Hey, you know what I would change in Fantasyland? However,
Tell me.
Philhar Magic, and I know that
you
I'm
know
gonna
they
catch a
recently
lot of-
changed it.
What did they do to it? Because I'm
They
not aware.
added a Coco scene.
I do remember seeing that. I remember seeing
Mhm.
that on, I think, Facebook. It was. I follow
Yeah.
a bunch of Disney
Yeah.
stuff everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, same.
But still, though, like the last two or three times that I went on that attraction in that attraction,
It's a
whatever,
show. It's a show.
theatrical attraction. We basically had to either sit there and wait for it to restart, or we had the choice to basically get up and leave. So it's just like they either really need to start focusing on it and fixing those errors, or they just need to totally do something new because it's just taking up room.
It is taking up room, but I like it. I just feel like it's a classic.
And the 3D, they could at least update 3D. That will give me a headache faster than anything.
The 3D is really bad.
Yeah, it's definitely early 2000s 3D.
Mm-hmm. If
To
they
the
just
point
like
where it's better just
reanimated
to
it,
do this.
mm-hmm. That's true.
So, my
If
favorite
they
part is
just
at the very beginning.
reanimated it, it would be better, I think.
Yeah, my favorite. Well,
Where Donald
I have
first
two
takes
favorite.
the hat.
Well, I have two favorite parts in that ride. I love where Goofy shocks himself because that's just funny. I found that funny ever since I was little. And then at the
True.
very end, where Donald launches himself into the theater behind everybody.
Wall. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot of people miss that.
Oh yeah.
Like
100%.
they like see it coming in front of them, but then they don't see the like actual legs hanging out the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is
because they're just
funny.
ready to get out because they're just such on a
Yeah,
they're on a
Yeah,
mission to
that's
do
true.
everything.
that's true. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I don't think I would change anything in Fantasyland.
Yeah. Peter Pan to me, again, I'm gonna get some hate for this. Is boring. Why does it always have a long wait? Great question. No one will ever know.
It's just a classic.
It's just classic. But like I wouldn't change anything about it. I wouldn't want to get rid of it, but I just don't really understand the point of it being forever long. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah, I get
like,
that.
whatever, it's whatever. But it is what it is.
However, though, I do
Um,
like how they updated the queue line. How they showed like the actual kids' bedrooms and everything like that. I do like that touch.
And the interactive bell thing. You know what I'm talking about?
Is it with that screen or whatever?
Yeah, there's like a projector and you can like ring the bells with your hands, your shadows. Very cool.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember that because Peter Pan shadow comes up as well, I think, right?
Yeah, and Tinkerbell.
Okay.
Like, by.
Yeah. Any queue
Okay,
like that,
one other
awesome.
true. Anything interactive, great. I love
Yep.
it. Passes the time.
Oh, 100%,
Even if I ring those
especially when you
bells
got
for
kids
30
with you.
minutes, just ding, 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 30 minutes. I'll keep doing it.
Yeah, and if it occupies us at our age, those 5, 6,
it'll keep the
7-year-olds,
5-year-olds. Yeah.
parents are happy.
Great. Fantastic. Every line should be interactive. One other thing I would change in Fantasyland. The tangled restrooms.
What would you change?
They need to be more than just restrooms. Give Rapunzel what she deserves.
Yeah, but where's the room for that though? Like the $1 million bathrooms.
No room. There's no room unless you do like a trail out back.
I can tell you
I'd
right
like
now,
something,
and this might
but-
be a little bit TMI. Who cares though? Everybody does it. That is the best place to take care of the number 2 business, in my opinion. Those are the cleanest and the coldest bathrooms.
They are really
or the
nice
warmest,
restrooms.
depending on the time of year. But majority of the time, Florida is super hot.
Yeah.
So-
They are really nice restrooms. But I just think they should add something And if they added nothing, just like a simple touch, the tower, Rapunzel's tower that's there,
Yeah, in the background.
Every 45 minutes to an hour, her hair should just fall out the window.
That'd be
and
cool.
Then come back up.
I do like
just
that.
See. I think that'd be cool, but whatever. They don't ask me, so. Yeah, that's it. I wouldn't change anything else about Fantasyland.
I was about to say I'm trying to think of any other section that we missed at Magic Kingdom, because I mean I would love to do all 4 parks, but there's no way we're gonna have to
favorite section in Magic Kingdom. You missed it completely. Your absolute favorite part of Magic Kingdom, you skipped directly over it.
I'm having a feeling this is not my favorite section at all.
It may not be your favorite, but you did skip over a section. There's one section left.
You're gonna have to tell me, because I'm
walking down Main Street, USA.
Oh, dude, don't touch Main Street. There's nothing wrong with Main Street. Heck no, I wasn't even gonna talk about Main Street. What would you change on Main Street?
I don't know that I would change anything.
Yeah.
But I think no, I probably wouldn't change anything.
I was about to say, dude, Main Street's gold.
No, it is.
And it's not like
it is good.
Such crap that it's gold like the Country Bear Jamboree. Yeah. It's gold because it's gold.
Yeah.
24 karat.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to discuss Main Street. I was like sitting there, I was like, we've talked about every section. Like, what are we talking about?
No, Main Street. I'm trying to think. The Mickey and Tinkerbell meet and greets, I think, are kind of out of place. Maybe not Mickey, but Tinkerbell. Why is Tinkerbell on Main Street?
Where's Tinkerbell exactly located for her meet and greet?
The same building as Mickey.
Oh, really? Okay.
They're like one Mickey's on one side, man. Tink's on the other. But like, I don't understand why she's there, but that's probably the only thing I would change. It's like, why is Tinkerbell there?
Did you ever get a picture of Tinkerbell?
No.
I wonder if it's because it's themed to maybe look like she's in a nightstand drawer, maybe? I don't know what it looks like. Maybe it has to just do with theming and how they can actually make the room look small or something.
I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look it up what she looks like in that room. Also, one other thing that I would change on Main Street. I just want to know, who is buying the like $1 billion objects that are in all of those stores on the right side of Main Street? Like after the confectionery.
Oh, yeah.
All of those stores that are like, we have this one statue. It cost $7,000. Who's buying that?
Yeah, but you know that there's so many people that go to Disney that, you know, they're on a budget, but there's also so many people that go to Disney. $7,000 is a lot like $7 to them as well.
That's annoying.
And like, don't get me wrong, I would never buy anything for $7,000 because, I mean, there's a lot of things in the real world outside of Disney's gates that I can do a lot with $7,000 with.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna buy a crystal clear Sorcerer Mickey Fantasia 50th edition for $7,000.
No.
It's not gonna do it. Yeah, I'm with you on that. But dude, they sell, and they even have it at they even have a similar store at Disney Springs as well. That's I'm telling you, I guess that
means somebody's buying it, but I personally just think it's a little ridiculous.
Yeah. I think they could definitely move it somewhere else. I don't think it should be right down the middle of Main Street.
Main Street, US.
But like if they put it over in the around that same area, the same building where Mickey's Magic Mickey, where his meet and greet is, I think that would be a better location because that's just kind of off to the side, and you don't necessarily have to worry about so many kids. Because I wonder how many of those break.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's why everything's in like a case, and you have to ask a cast member. You're like, oh, I want that, and then they'll get it for you.
True, but I wonder how many times that like an adult was looking at it and a kid just grabbed it off the counter when it was outside of the case. That would be painful to watch.
Especially they threw it on the ground.
Woo.
Yikes!
Yeah.
Yikes.
But yeah, other than
Anyway,
that,
my
I
friends,
don't think that there's anything that I would change.
no, Main Street's beautiful. Don't touch it.
Yeah.
Don't
And I
touch
mean,
it.
we kind of
Don't
also
touch
got a
it.
little off topic too, because Main Street doesn't have any attractions.
It has the Dapper Dans, and they're an attraction.
True. And then you also have the Main Street Band. You have, I do like the parades. However, hot take real quick. I think I like the rainy day parade more than the just original. I don't know the actual
More
name
than
of it.
the Festival of Fantasy.
No. Okay. I'm talking about I guess that does take the place of Festival of Fantasy. But it's the
Here and now.
yeah, maybe. Okay. So I take that back.
I love that parade.
Yeah, Festival of Fantasy does slap. I take that back. However, I do think that the rainy day parade does get slept on a lot. Because I do like that parade.
Yeah, it is a good parade. But I think Festival of Fantasy is better.
Now, the one that I was going to talk about I think I like the rainy day parade more, is the parade like that happens in the morning from like opening to like, I think like 10 o'clock in the morning. It's the one where it's like, I'm walking right down the middle of the main street.
Oh, the one that actually has a song of all like main street.
They have like 4 stopping points. Yeah, it's 4 stopping points, and it's the same song every point. It's like, why can't we just do this right at the front of Main Street and then just call it a day? Because it stops so many people. Like, I like the show, don't get me wrong, but it clumps up and bottlenecks Main Street way too much. Because they basically have to have that whole street.
But you can't tell me that you're walking down the middle of Main Street if you're like, I'm standing in front of Main Street and this is where we stay all day. Like, that's lame.
True.
You can't be strolling right down the middle of Main Street if you're not actually doing it.
I don't know. Maybe they could figure out a way to just do like a constant number instead of doing it like 3 or 4 times, because it just bottlenecks. But
I'll listen to that song 8,000 times a day.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. That is a good song. It's a good little thing to watch. Maybe it's just because I used to have to deal with it all the time. I would get to Magic Kingdom early and I'd have to deal with it every time I'd get there before 9:30, 10 a.m. Yeah, maybe that's probably true. Maybe I'm a little salty.
That's probably true. I think you're just a Disney snob.
Yeah. I don't even know why I have this podcast,
Enjoy the little things, Jeff.
I love Disney,
over it, but just like you're like going to Disney and you're like, I'm trying to do the things that I want to do because you know what's there. But
that have only been I'm just trying to book it through. Yeah.
Like, great. Exactly.
Yeah. So, however, I think that'll do it for this episode. We're definitely going to talk about the other parks as well. I think what we wanted to do was talk about all 4 parks in one episode, but that's going to be forever.
I didn't realize how many opinions I had until we started talking about this. And then I was like, oh, actually, I hate this and I don't like this. And this should be changed.
Yep. Because, I mean, it's great. Like, Magic Kingdom is great. But when you look at it, that's the nice thing is everybody has their own little opinion. Or if you hear somebody else's opinion, you're like, oh, my God, that is a good idea.
Yep. So. Yeah. Anyway, that's all, folks. That was great. Main Street. Can't wait to talk about the other 3 parks and Disney Springs, and so many other things about what needs to be changed. But I'm sure that'll be intermingled with many other things that we talk about on the Goofy Scoop. Oh yeah, this was definitely a great episode. And if you guys haven't heard, or if you guys haven't done it yet, please go follow the Goofy Scoop on the Instagram. And we try to post weekly, but we get busy, so no promises. However, we'll see you guys on the next episode, and we hope to see you guys real soon.